Okay, so I want to go over with you how we're going to do a worksheet on the final exam. If you take a look at the handout that I gave you, it says on December 31st of the current year, Craigan's Copies has the following general ledger, accounts, and balances. The business uses a monthly fiscal period. So I'll go ahead and fill in my title or heading. So we've got Craigan's Copies. We're preparing a worksheet. And the date, this shows a period of time, so we will do for month ended December 31st, 2024. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill in all of our account titles and the balances in the account title and trial balance columns. After I complete doing that, I will come back. All right, so I've got all of my account titles and my trial balance amounts in here. So what I'm going to do is draw a line underneath trial balance. I'm going to write totals, and I'm going to add these two columns up. And the debit side is $11,881. The credit side is $11,881. So we go ahead and double rule. So the next thing we're going to do is we've got our adjustments column. So here it says the adjustment information for December 31st. The value of supplies at the end of the fiscal period is $130. The value of prepaid insurance is $250. This is the most important part. Remember, we're going to take these amounts. We are going to put them in the balance sheet debit column. So for supplies, we will fill in $130. For prepaid insurance, we will fill in $250. So now we have to find out how much we used up by subtracting our trial balance amount from our balance sheet amount. So for supplies, we used up $98. That's going to go in the credit column. This credit needs a debit partner. So down here under supplies expense, debit, we will fill in the $98 and we will give these little letter A's. Same thing for prepaid insurance. We subtract to find out how much we used up. The difference goes in adjustments credit. So $125 is how much we used up. This credit needs a debit partner. So under insurance expense, we will put that debit. These are little letter B's. We're finished with our adjustments, so we will go ahead and add these up, and we get $223 on both the debit and credit sides. So we double rule. So our next set of instructions say to extend the up-to-date balances to the balance sheet or income statement columns. So we'll go ahead and do that. Remember, we draw a little line right above income summary. Everything above it goes on the balance sheet. Everything below the line is on the income statement. So we're going to slide over cash to the balance sheet debit. Petty cash is $75. Accounts receivable, $13.98. Supplies and prepaid insurance are already filled in. Accounts payable is a credit. Capital is a credit. And then drawing is a debit. That takes care of all of our balance sheet accounts. So now we're going to do our income statement accounts. Sales is a credit. So under income statement credit, we will slide over the $4,160. Advertising expense is $466. Insurance expense doesn't have anything under trial balance, but we have this debit adjustment. So we'll slide the $125 over. $189 debit. Same thing for supplies expense. We'll slide over that debit adjustment. And then we've got $550 for utilities expense. Now that everything is slid over, we're going to slide that arm across. And we're going to add up all four of our columns. We get 1,428. We get 4,160. We get $10,453. and 7,721. Okay, so now it's time to find our net income or loss. This is going to be a net income situation, so we'll write that over here. We're going to take a look at our income statement, debit and credit. We took in sales more than we paid out. We'll subtract them. The difference goes under the smaller number, so that when we now add these down, we get 4,160 here. We'll carry down the 4,160, and we can double rule because those equal. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to subtract the two and put the difference under the smaller number. You will know you have done this right when the difference is the same as the difference here. Remember, these have to equal. So now when we add these down, we get 10,453. We carry down the 10,453 on the debit side, and we can double rule, and that's our worksheet.